Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about those heart-stopping online moments. The ones where a single tiny click can lead to some seriously big problems. And, more importantly, how really smart design can save us from ourselves.
You know that feeling, right? That split-second sinking feeling in your stomach of, oh no, did I just mess up? It happens to all of us. But sometimes that little jolt of panic is way more than just a minor oops. Okay, picture this. You found the perfect flight. The price is incredible, the timing is exactly what you need. You're carefully typing in all your details, your credit card number, everything looks good to go. You take a breath and you hit submit. And then your eyes catch it. A single typo. You booked the flight for next year. And those tickets? Yeah, they're non-refundable. That little jolt of panic just turned into a very real, very expensive problem. And that, right there, is what we're diving into today. We're not talking about simple mistakes you can just undo. We're talking about actions with serious, often irreversible consequences, hitting that digital point of no return. So what exactly makes an online action serious? Well, the official jargon is a legal commitment or a financial transaction. Basically, it's any time you click a button that locks you into a contract, executes a stock trade, or finalizes a loan. It's an action that legally binds you to something. But here's where it gets really important. The risk of making one of these mistakes. It's not the same for everybody. For some people, the digital world has a much, much smaller margin for error. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. For someone with a reading disability who might accidentally swap numbers, or for someone with a motor disability who might hit a key by mistake, these high-stakes situations are even more of a minefield. So, that's the big question, right? If these errors can be so costly and affect some people more than others, what's the solution? How can websites and apps be built to protect all of us? Well, the answer is something we can think of as a digital safety net. And this isn't just a nice-to-have idea, it's actually a core part of web accessibility guidelines. Specifically, it's called Success Criterion 3.3.4, and it's all about preventing these kinds of errors. This guideline basically boils it down to 3 core strategies. For any of these serious actions, a site has to give you at least one of these options. Make the action reversible, have the system check for errors for you, or ask you for one final confirmation. Let's see what that actually looks like out in the wild. All right, so where do we actually see these safety nets in our everyday lives online? Turns out they're everywhere, working quietly in the background to stop us from making a disastrous click. Let's start with the one we all do constantly, buying something online. This is the classic example of a financial transaction where a simple mistake could cost you real money. And this is where we see that confirmation method. That review your order page? That's not just an extra annoying step. That is the safety net. It's the website giving you one last chance to catch that you're sending a package to your old address, or that you accidentally added 10 of something to your cart instead of 1. Okay, how about another situation? What about when you're not buying something but getting rid of something? Like, say, deleting a bunch of old files or wiping records from your account. Now, this guideline is really specific. It protects what's called user-controllable data. Think of it as the stuff that's yours, your profile info, your saved documents, past invoices. It doesn't apply to the background data that a site collects, like server logs. The key is, it's about protecting the data you are actively managing. And for a scary situation like deleting data, the reversible method is your best friend. Think about the undo send button in your email, or the trash or recycle bin on your computer. These are all mechanisms that make a potentially huge mistake reversible. They give you that crucial window to say, wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's really ramp up the stakes. Let's talk about a truly high-pressure transaction, trading stock online. Here, a mistake in timing or the number of shares can have immediate and sometimes massive financial consequences. This is the perfect job for our third type of safety net, the error check. This is where the system itself is actively looking out for you. For example, if you try to place a stock trade after the market is closed, a good platform will pop up a warning. It'll say, hey, the market's closed, this has risks, are you sure you want to do this? The system is basically acting as your co-pilot. So when you pull all of this together, you realize it's about so much more than just preventing one-off mistakes. It's really about designing a digital world that's fundamentally more humane, more understanding, more forgiving. And this really does matter for all of us. I mean, it reduces expensive mistakes, for sure. It builds our trust in the websites and apps we rely on every day. It can prevent catastrophic data loss. And crucially, it creates an absolutely essential layer of protection for users with disabilities, making the web a fairer, more equitable place. Ultimately, that's the big takeaway here. These safety nets, they aren't just features. They're a sign that a service actually values its users and gets that, you know what, people make mistakes. A forgiving web is quite simply a better and more trustworthy web for every single one of us. So I'll leave you with a little challenge. The next time you're about to make a big online purchase or delete something important, just pause for a second. Look around. Can you see the confirmation screen, the undo button, the helpful warning message? Try to spot the safety net that's been built just to catch you.